going to discuss about C language. Just I would like to explain some of the basic concepts which we required to learn C language. Basically, if we are learning any new thing, that may be a programming language, that may be any normal language, whatever it may be, we should know one thing. What is the purpose of that language? Why do we need that language? Why we are going to learn the language? Right? Here we are going to learn the C programming language. Before going to learn it, what is the need of C programming language and why these programming languages are essential nowadays to develop an applications. These are all the things we should know before learning C language. Meanwhile, we have to discuss some of the key terms, some of the basic things, in which first one, what is a language? What is a language? Right? In general, in our regular life, we are using so many languages. What are all the languages? English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, etc., etc. What are all the languages? What is the use of that language? First thing we have to know. Okay. A language is a set of instructions which is used to communicate with others. A language is a set of instructions which are used to communicate with others. How we are communicating with each other? If I want to communicate with you people, how I am going to communicate? With the help of any one of the language. The language may be any language, English, Hindi, Telugu, whatever it may be. Now I am speaking in English and you are listening. You are responding to my questions in English only. So here the medium is called what? Language. So whatever the language we are using, like English language, that is a medium, which is nothing but a set of instructions which is used to communicate with others. Or I can say a language is a medium or mediator which is used to communicate. Right? This is what we call language. And the second thing, what is a programming language? What is a programming language? Of course, it is also a language only. A set of instructions which are used to write the programs. Those programs are used to communicate with the computer. In general, a person and a person wants to communicate with each other. Definitely, they require any one of the language. Human understandable languages, right? Like suppose English, Telugu, Hindi, etc. If the same person wants to communicate with the computer or with a machine, they should know some of the programming languages. So these programming languages are used to write the programs. Again, those programs are, so internally there are lots of things to communicate with the computer, but as of now we don't know anything. That's why I can just saying that a programming language is used to write the programs. Those programs are used to communicate with the computers, right? So just keep that in mind. Some of the examples of programming languages are, we are going to learn C language, right? C language is also one of the programming language only. C++ also programming language. Java, HTML, or else there are so many available languages, programming languages are there. So these are all called what? Programming languages. With the help of these programming languages only, we are going to write the programs. right? With that programs, we are going to build applications. So with that applications, we are going to communicate with the computers, right? This is called what? So the small difference between normal language and a programming language. And one more thing, regularly we are using the term called program, right? What exactly the meaning of program? We are using programming languages to write the programs. Then what is a program here? Right. A program is a set of instructions to perform a particular task. Task may be anything. To perform a particular task, we require a program. With the help of that program, we are going to perform a particular task by using a computer. Okay, that's called what? A program, set of instructions. Like you might have heard the word called algorithm, right? What is an algorithm? A step by step procedure, a task, or a step by step procedure to complete a work. So that is in a normal textual format, or else it's in English terms only. Some of the instructions which are written in the form of sentences in an algorithm. The same thing here. Whatever the things. Suppose if I take an example, okay. Suppose if I want to add two numbers, how I am going to add? First I am taking one number into one variable. In terms of mathematics I am explaining, and another number into another variable. After that I'll take one more variable. For that I'm adding those two variables whatever the values I have taken. Suppose x and y are two variables. I am performing an addition operation. Then what is the result of x plus y? We will get a result as 30. Okay, 30 will be stored into z. Otherwise you can directly perform x plus y operation itself. Here taking 10 as a value and assigning it to a variable. The first thing. Second thing, 20 as a value, assigning it to y variable. Again, I am performing an addition operation. Then I am going to print the result or displaying the result. This is all in terms of steps, right? Here I have written 4 steps to perform an addition operations and to get the result. These 4 steps are written in the form of programs to perform an addition operation. So that is what here, a set of instructions which are used to perform a particular task, right? And one more thing, just we have discussed about programming language and normal language. The programming languages are used to write the programs. Then what is the purpose of programs? I think you heard about the word called software. Okay, what is a software? Yes, a software is a set of programs to perform a functionality. Same thing only. Set of instructions is called as language which is used to communicate with other. Programming language is also set of instructions to write the program. Such a type of programs collectively, so together will perform a user specific task. Or else software is a set of programs which is used to perform a particular functionality. A functionality may be anything. It's a simple task or it's a complex task, whatever it may be. Okay, here n number of programs collectively or n number of programs together used to perform a particular functionality is called what? Software. Collection of programs, right? This is about the term called software. Now these softwares are classified into two types. Industry experts, according to their functionality, these softwares are classified into two types, in which first one is system software and second one is application software. Right? These are two types of softwares available in the market. I mean classified in terms of their functionality. So what is a system software and what is an application software? First thing, system software. A system software is a software, that means a collection of programs which are dedicated to managing the computer itself. Managing the computer itself means managing the computer hardware components. Suppose if a system which consists of hardware components, these hardware components are managed by a software called system software. That means, so if a computer, so whatever the computer which consists of hardware components, it's supposed to work means definitely it's supposed, I mean hardware components supposed to work means definitely they should require one controller, one mediator, or else an organizer. That is called what here? A system software, which is especially only for the purpose of handling the internal components of computer. Okay, so which especially for internal functionality purpose, not for user purpose. Okay, so these are called what? System software. So suppose I can say operating system. Operating system is one of the example of system software. That means this operating system can handle the hardware components of a computer. So that's why an operating system is a mediator between a user and hardware components of a computer. If user is going to give the input, that input is given by the input data, and again whatever the result after processing the data, whatever the result we are going to get through the output devices, this handling will be performed through a mediator, a medium, that is called what? Operating system. It is also a software only. So that means operating system is also developed by using some of the programs, because softwares are nothing but collection of programs. N number of programs will together to perform a particular functionality. Here functionality is simply a system functionality. System managing the system hardware components, that is a functionality. Okay, that is a system software. What are some of the examples of operating systems? Windows, Linux, Unix, disk operating system, and Sun Solaris, and then Mac OS, iOS operating system. So these are all some of the examples of operating system. These are all softwares only, but especially which are dedicated to managing the computer itself. Right? That is a system software. And second one is application software. By name itself it clearly tells these are nothing but applications only. Application softwares are also collection of programs only, or these are also called productivity programs to perform user specific tasks. That's why these are called end user programs also. Okay, to perform user specific tasks. We just discussed about software is a collection of programs to perform a particular functionality. Here the functionality is user specific task. These application softwares, these applications allow users to perform their respective tasks. If suppose if I am a user, I am teaching, I mean I am explaining the things. Okay, I am writing and drawing some diagrams and writing on my computer. How I am going to write? I am using one tool called some Paint or Edit Plus. Some of the tool I am using. The tool is nothing but it is a software only. It's an application only. Application software only. So my activity, I mean my functionality is to write the content on the computer. To write the content on the computer, I must require any one of the tool like Paint. I can take a Paint, or else a Notepad, or else MS Word, or else MS Excel, or else Edit Plus, Notepad Plus, whatever it may be, available things. These are all called what? Application software, which are especially used to perform user-specific tasks, right? So, like some of the examples, Office is one of the application software, MS Office, and then we are using C programming language also. So with the help of C software we are going to perform some particular operations. So that's why C software is also called as application software. And then C++ programming language also used to perform some particular operations to write the programs. So C++ software is also present. C++ software is also called as application software. And then so whatever the applications we are using, WhatsApp as an application in our web, and Facebook, so whatever the applications in through internet, these are all also called what? Application software, which may be installable or which may be through web, so whatever it may be. So as of now we are learning C programming language, right? So with respect to programming languages, programming terminology, these software, C software, C++, Java, these are all called what? Application software, right? So these are just types of softwares. So what basically a software and how these softwares are classified into two types based upon their functionality. That is the thing. Okay. Coming to the next thing. Okay, these are two types. So and coming to the next thing. So just we have discussed about softwares, right? Next we have discussed about softwares and types of softwares. And as of now, we have discussed the terms related to language, right? These languages also again classified into some types. Again classified into some types. Types of languages according to computers. Computer languages. Okay. So those two types are, you might have heard all these words already, but again I am going to discuss. Okay. Low level language. One is low level language, another one is high level language. These two are types of language, and actually assembly language is also one of the low level language only, but this is also again classified into one more type, that is assembly language. But anyhow we are not dealing with the assembly language, but what is an assembly language we should know. Okay, so these are all three types of languages according to computers. So let me discuss one by one types of languages. First thing, binary language, that is called what? Low level language. Low level language, it is also called binary. Low level language, example of low level language is binary language. Binary language is in terms of zeros and ones. 0 and 1. Binary means two, right? Two things. Those two things are zeros and ones. So whatever the things which are written in the language, that is only with the help of zeros and ones. Or else I can say low level language is a mission understandable language. Mission understandable language. Binary language is also called as mission understandable language. Mission is nothing but here computer only. Computer can understand only zeros and ones. Okay, so whatever the instructions we are giving, so whatever the operations we are doing, so all the things, so which is not understandable by the computer, it can understand only zeros and ones. How it is going to understand zeros and ones? So that will discuss in the next step. As of now, low level language is binary language, that is zeros and ones. It is in the form of zeros and ones. So it is also called mission understandable language. Okay, low level language, right? And next thing, assembly language. Assembly language is nothing but the language which is in the form of mnemonics. These are also called symbolic codes. Those are also called instructions. Any language is a set of instructions only, but here the word called mnemonics, that is a symbolic codes. Symbolic codes. Actually, I'm just giving one example here. MOV A comma some 20, MOV B comma some 30. Again, add A comma B. Right. How this looks like? So actually, some alphabets and numbers only, right? But it is some of the instructions of assembly language. So assembly language looks like this. So basically, here the word called mnemonics or symbolic codes, right? Here one command is there, right? So that is one word is there. That is MOV. It is a command or instructions. It is a mnemonic or symbolic code. So this means here the value A. So what is the value? The value 20 will be assigned to the variable. Here A is called a register. MOV is called a symbolic code, that is a mnemonic, that means an instruction. So this means a 20 will be stored into a variable A, that is a register A, and 30 will be stored into a register B. So move means normal, we have one English term, MOVE, move. So like that, this is also, so which moves a destination into a source thing. So like, so registers are here used as a variables, right? And here one more command. This command is add. So this line of statement will perform an addition and the result will be stored into a register, that is A. A is a register. So after adding these two elements, the value will be stored into, stored into A register. So now the A will consist of 50 as a value. So like this assembly language would be. So it looks like, so these are all called what? Mnemonics. That is also called symbolic codes, or maybe simple as it is an instruction. Right? This is an assembly language. Assembly language itself as an assembly language. Right? There is no other programming language like assembly language. Okay? And one more thing, high level language. High level language. Here comes to know whatever the human understandable languages. Human understandable languages are called high level language. What are all the languages understandable by the human beings? Suppose English, Hindi, Telugu. So what we discussed in the first part, that is language. All languages which are understandable by the human beings are called what? High level language. Okay. So now here comes to programming language. Human understandable language means here they have defined only one language, that is called what? English language. Because English is a universal language. English can be understandable by any person, any human beings in the world. So that's why all the authors, all the textbooks, all the programming languages are designed by using English language only. Okay. Anyhow, we are discussing with computer programming language, right? High level language is nothing but human understandable language. Those languages are C, C++, Java, or Tally, SQL. So these are all the languages which can be understandable by the human beings, because these languages are written in terms of English only. Okay, so this is what the exact clarification about high level language, right? Human understandable languages. Right? Here we have just discussed about low level language, right? That is binary language. How this binary language will be. Okay, so for this, computer can understand only zeros and ones, right? Computer can understand only zeros and ones. We are dealing with the computer, or we are communicating with the computer. Okay, how we are going to communicate with the computer, that's what the important thing. Okay, but here computer can understand only zeros and ones. Human beings can understand only high level language, that is C, C++, Java. Okay, so to communicate with the computer, so which knows binary language, human beings knows high level language. So the communication link must be established in between these two things. So how this communication link is establishing, so let you know first. Okay, this communication link is establishing with the help of some compilers, some interpreters, some translators. So that we'll discuss in a bit later class. But as of now, have you heard about a word called ASCII? ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, so for all alphabets, for all numerics, for all special symbols, whatever the symbols, numbers, alphabets are present in our keyboard, because we are dealing with the computer means we must enter input whatever there in the input device. Okay, so input device is here computer keyboard. This keyboard consists of alphabets, that is some capital alphabets, or some alphabets, small letters, and some special symbols, on whatever it may be. Okay, so ASCII values means universally American Standard Code for Information Interchange will given some of the numbers for all the things, all the keyboard things, whatever the input things are there. Okay, first suppose if it is a capital A, the number is 65, and capital Z up to 65, 66, there it should be capital A is 65 and capital Z will be some around 26, means 90. Okay, so like that they have given name numbers to the alphabets. Again for capital letters they have given 97 to 122. Okay, again for numbers also they have given some numbers, I mean ASCII values for 0 to 9, some numbers are there, no, 0 to 9. For these numbers also they have given 10 digits, so whatever it may be. Okay, ASCII values. With the help of these ASCII values, these alphabets or numbers or special symbols are converted into some binary language like this. Just I am giving one example. Actually binary codes are there. Based upon these ASCII codes only, these numbers are again converting into binary codes. How these numbers are converting into binary codes? First thing, actually from right to left there is a sequence. 1, 2, 4, 8, like 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, like that. So I can say simply that is based upon bits. Some computers treated, I mean single digit treated 32 bit, or some double digit treated some 64 bit, like that. But simply, so I am giving an example, simple thing. Suppose 2. The equivalent binary code for 2 is 0 0 0 1 0. That means 0 0 1 0. Okay, so 2 equivalent value is 0 0 1 0. And suppose if you take a 6 equivalent binary value is 4 plus 2 will become 6, no? So that's why 0 1 0 1. That means here it comes to 4. How the series will be like 8 4 2 1. That means we have given ones place as a 1. That means this is called 1. Again we have given 1 in terms of fourth place, that is 4. 4 plus 2. These two terms combinedly will generate number as 6. Okay, right here also. So we have placed 1 in place of 2. So there it should treat it as a 2. If suppose if you take number 9, the equivalent value will be 8 plus 1, right? 1001. So this is the equivalent value for 9. So like that, if we take 65 also a number, right? Right. 65 is also a number. These 65 will be converting into 2 digits. Like 6 is a binary value. So like 6 binary value is 0101, and 5 equivalent binary value is 4 plus 1, right? 0101. So like this, 65 equivalent binary value is 0101 0101. Sorry, 6 means here 4 plus 2, right? 6 means, yeah, 0, like 0110 and 0101. Like this, these numbers are, I mean, alphabets are converting into ASCII values. These ASCII values again will converting into binary value. So numbers also converting into ASCII values. For that ASCII value, system will then generate binary codes. Suppose if you take special symbols, like these are all the symbols, right? For these symbols also, they have given ASCII value. So those ASCII values are nothing but numbers only. These numbers again converting into binary representation. Okay, like this, the binary code will be there for each and every alphabet, for each and every number, for each and every special symbol, right? So that is how the binary language should be. Okay, now so we got the clarity, we got the differences between what are high level languages, what are low level languages. Okay, so low level language is nothing but a binary language, that is mission understandable language. Assembly language is nothing but a language which is in terms of mnemonics, that is symbolic codes, that is called what? Assembly language. A high level language means human understandable language. Now what we are going to learn means, we are going to learn high level language. High level language. High level language is nothing but C language, right? High level, we are going to learn the C language. Okay. For this C language, we are going to start basics. Like if we want to learn an English language, how we are going to learn? We'll start from alphabets, and then we'll start from words, and then we'll start from sentences, paragraphs, grammar, etc., etc. Like that, comparatively, how we are learning normal language, like that only we are going to learn the high level language itself. Okay, so where C language is also high level